Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Howdy, partner. It's 4:30 in the morning here at Farewell Ranch, and it's time to get up and work the old cows. Get up, y'all! At Farewell Ranch, old people don't sit around stagnating, watching game shows and talking about the good old days, sinking into the grave in a urine-soaked mess. At Farewell Ranch, they sweat and toil until the breaking point and keep that miserable contemplation of mortality at bay. Hell, at steering time, we'll work Grandpa so hard he'll wish he was dead. At the end of the day, he'll sit down in the bluegrass, eat a bowl of commemorative beans, and enjoy sing-alongs at one of our nightly funerals. It's the Cowboys Code. Work hard, don't shower, and die in your boots. Right, Norm?
My prostate.
Farewell Ranch, the only way to ride into the sunset.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Shift. It's episode 416, and I, of course, am your host, your funky leader, the greatest man who has ever lived. It's me. It's Matt, and I'm pumped for the show because with me, as always, it's the Light Bearer, Lightbringer, the Light Bearer, Bringer, the Beastmaster, Third Shift. It's Eric, and he's here to tell us how his week was. Hey, Eric, how was your week this week?
Oh boy, howdy! What a week it's been. It's one of those weird weeks that goes by in a flash, and you wonder what you did. And I still, to this moment, wonder what I did. Did I go down south, Matt? Did I go visit some family members?
Yeah.
I think I did. Yeah, see, there you go. I went down to Ohio, and I hung out with my brother-in-law and sister. We watched the first football games this weekend together. Watched Ohio State play. I watched U of M play. It was a good time. It felt right. It felt good. Not really because my team, U of M, was playing particularly great, but because when they're playing, that tells me that the hot weather's going away. And that just makes me so happy to know that the hot weather's going away, fall is coming in, football season is upon us, and that's such a good thing. Now, of course, the funny part about all this is fall's coming, but do you think it was here this weekend?
No,
it wasn't. It was hot as hell. Oh my God, it was hot down there. It was bad. I'm in line at this damn park, just sweating, as I always do at these damn parks, except for once or twice, looking like a crazy person. Now, I don't understand. I just don't get it. I did see an Asian gal who was sweating buckets just like me. So there are other people like me that for just whatever reason, the sun, the heat, makes you look like you're about to be dead. Because most everybody else looked normal. Not a lot. Maybe a bead of sweat here or there. That was it. Everybody else just flocking around, living life, looking good, looking fine. And I'm over here looking like a dumpster. I got sweat dripping down my head. My whole top of my shirt soaked with sweat already. And I'm, it's so hot.
Now, I know this won't help with everything, and you probably can't take it with you because you're going on all the rides and stuff. What about like a wide-brimmed hat? I know you're not a hat guy. I'm not really a hat guy either, but I have my wide-brimmed hat. And when I wear it, I'm like, it's at least like a partial relief on my head and my hot zone right here. And it's I don't know if it doesn't work all the way, but it's better, especially if it's sun hot and not just humid hot. It's better. Try that out. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. The wife keeps telling me to put a hat on and go that route, but I look ugly and like a fool all the time, but I just look weird with the hat. I don't have a hat head.
Get like an old straw hat, like an old man's straw hat, like your old gardening hat. You got to have an old gardening hat because you got an old garden you take
like
care
I'm
of.
them Orthodox Christian type people, all right? One of those peeps or whatever they're called,
Yeah.
And I just wear my straw hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll give it a shot next season. We'll see how it goes. Because your hat, you don't actually got to take, you just got to take off and hold.
Yeah.
So it's not too big of an inconvenience when you're getting on the coasters.
Right.
You got to run it off, blah, 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 blah.
But you still have to hang on to it. You can't put both arms up.
You can't put both arms up in the air and woo, woo. But that's fine. I've done that a million times. So I don't got to do that no more. Anywho's, so as you just heard, I did some Kings Island, watched some football, had a good time, played some video games. And those video games were Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, still going strong. I got back to Ichiban's party. So we're back with my boy. We're back on Hawaii doing all sorts of stuff. The story's getting pretty crazy. I feel like there's another betrayal about to happen. I feel real sad about it. I don't want it to happen, but it's coming. There's another one coming. I can feel it in my bones. You can see where it's all about to start to go down. But I'm excited for it. However, I got to level up some more. So I've just been running around town, just fighting everybody and everything, trying to get my last few levels, in which I think I just did. Last few levels so I can switch out my class to a different class, which I did that. And then I went, well, that's not good enough. Now I got to level these guys up to at least a respectable level with their jobs before I go on to the main story. So I started going around town, doing it again. Because now, of course, I got to get weapons for them that are a formidable 4-star, 5-star. I think it's 5-star for the next section. So 5-star weapons, you know the rigmarole. So I'm in that spot where I'm excited because I'm doing something to get going, but I'm also starting to get agitated because I'm once again in a holding formation before the next big chunk of story. So it's a mixture of both, but I still am having a good time with that game. Really, really good. And I played Persona 3 Reload. Loving it. Me and the child are having a good time making all these choices. The story's ramping up and up and up and up and up. I can't wait to see where it goes. Got some more bad guy storyline stuff going on. Once again, I really love the bad guys in this. They're really cool. The personality on them, I just really am jiving with right now. So having a good time there. And last but not least, I played Star Wars Outlaws, Matt. I did. Got it downloaded, played it. Talked to you a little bit about it. Only got the one night where I got to that very first full sneak on mission where you had to take out those 2 cores so that the door would open up and you could get through and sneak past. All sorts of wonky stuff was going on in there. The baddies would not stop like going nuts ever. And then it was a whole thing. Turned it off, but I played it again post that. Had no issue. Snuck around, got caught once, but did a little sneaky-roo. Turned off a couple alarms. Everybody went away. Got through that, and then it opens up. All of a sudden, now you're accepting missions from the Crimson Dawn. Now you can go accept missions from the Vicons, or whatever the hell they're called. What were they called? Oh, man, I forget already.
Talk about the Pikes, dude.
Pikes, there you go. And here's the funny part about that. I remember the Crimson Dawn, because that's who I wanted to go with. But I'm like, man, we're on this Pikes area, so I'm going to have to go Pike, because I want to get their side missions and all the extras on this particular world. So I went with what I didn't want to do and went with them. Hence why I don't remember their names, because that guy can go shove it. But I got to work with him for now until I can betray him later, because I want to be able to get all the side quests and everything I can get done while I'm on the Pike's turf, as they say. But it's really cool. The only thing I don't like is those moments where you're picking, like, whose side to take. Oh, man, I'm having trouble. I'm just like, every time I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who to go with. I don't know. Oh, man, I don't know. Internet. Who's the best one to go with? It doesn't matter, dude. Just go with whatever you really want to do. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Engine number 9 going down Chicago line. That one, I guess. So.
I will say that is the one thing that stresses me out like nothing else. Because it even goes into like the super focus, slow-mo mode. And I don't think many of these have been timed, but it feels like they're timed. I'm like, oh, God. What do I do? She just came in the door. And it's like, if you're going against me, we're going to blast it out right now. But I do want to go against you. That was my whole plan. Now I don't want to, because that's going to screw everything up. If I do blast you, I didn't expect you to be here. And my cursor is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there was one, and it definitely wasn't timed, because I sat there for like 3 minutes. And I'll talk more about it on my section. But I was streaming this a lot. And I had one decision. I went, I don't know what to do. And I flipped a coin 3 times. And I had to just go with that. I haven't been looking anything up or anything, but I was just like, if I do this now, I acknowledge that I did it. If I don't do it now, maybe he doesn't know that I did it, but he obviously knows, because he's asking me about the thing that I do have that's from him. But it was crazy. It was nuts.
Yeah, that's the type of thing that's same boat, stressing me out. I don't want to deal with it. But the whole game's basically just taking a side, getting points for one rep versus the other. So on the good side of things is apparently, you can always do other quests to get the rep back with that other faction if you make the choice that pisses the other person off. So at the end of the day, with a little extra work, you're going to be okay no matter what. So that's the good side of it all. But I don't know, for my story and what I want, I feel like I got to make the right call. I got to make that right choice that I chose to side with them, and there's no going back. Except for that's not the way the game works, but that's the way I want it to work. So it's the whole thing stressful, man. But fun. I'm enjoying it. I like it. The world's so far really cool, vibrant. Everything's hustling and bustling. I like the main character. She's pretty chill, cool, kind of goes with the flow. doesn't take things super serious, pretty optimistic. Yeah, I don't know. I just vibe with her. She's pretty cool. I like her and liking the game overall.
I'd say I like her too. So I'll just get into it now. I'm loving it. It's great. I think I'm further along than you are because I got about 10 hours of streaming in on it this weekend. I have had some jank here and there. I have had some moments where, like, there's one part where you go up to a station and you're infiltrating a station. I won't say anything more than that. And, you hop out here to get out into the sneak zone. And I hopped out and immediately everyone was alerted and I got shot down like nobody's business. I went, what? And kind of like your sneak attempt one. The next time I did it, I jumped out and was able to hug the little piece of cover that was there and it snuck through like an actual boss like you're actually supposed to. But aside from occasional jank, I'm loving it. It's great. Like, I love the sneaking. It's simple sneaking, but it's not the most simple sneaking that I've ever played. It works for me 99% of the time, or works well enough that I don't feel like, why did I get seen? Why was this wrong? It works, and you have enough options, especially with Nyx, sending him out to do stuff. Doing a double takedown feels so cool. When you send him out, you jump the guy who's looking at the guy, then you jump the guy that he's on. But on top of that, the combat feels awesome to me. Like, it's simple so far, and I always forget to do the adrenaline thing where you mark your targets, but just blasting away and then grabbing a stormtrooper's blaster, it feels so much better when you have that. So it's special. So when it does go away, when you do have to drop it, when you're out of ammo for it, when you have to go climb a ladder and do something else, like, damn, I got to figure out a way to pull them down here so I can use this on them. When you're grabbing the sniper rifles, the grenade launchers feel freaking amazing because you do just have your pistol. So when you get that, it works. It's like a little mini power fantasy, but it doesn't last forever. I don't know. I am loving it. It's great. Like the speeder bike stuff we talked about. It works great for me. I feel like, okay, mini rant time for me. I feel like people always talk about that kind of stuff. They talked about it in Red Dead Redemption 2. You get on your horse, you just runs into everything. You fall off all the time. Same with like Death Stranding. All you do is fall in that game. Oh, it doesn't make sense. If you actually play correctly and don't fly your speeder into rocks or like fly off the highest cliff, you fly around just fine. Haven't found any invisible walls myself. I have run into a few rocks when I'm being stupid and not paying attention. But if you actually fly how you're supposed to, it works. So all the complaints everybody's been having, I see like slivers of them, bits and tiny pieces. But overall, I'm having a blast. Maybe those issues got patched out. I don't know, because I've gotten a few patches. But I'm freaking loving it. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'll say I've seen, there is jank. There's no lying about it. But I just don't know if it's to the degree that people do say. Like, I don't know. I feel like some people are hunting for like stuff to grab and hit on it because I haven't had enough to where it's pissed me off at all. So I don't know. But once again, like you said, that did get a big patch. So maybe pre-patch, those were amplified by a magnitude that really was aggravating sometimes. That's not impossible. And let's be honest, it did do a lot of people dirty because with that patch, apparently, when in PlayStation 5 only, it screwed up a lot of people's save files where they had to actually restart the whole game. And then as a reward, they gave them like a little keychain for their in-game thing, which I gotta say was a poor choice. They should have probably done a little bit more to compensate for the fact that these poor bastards who spent the extra money to get on the 3 days earlier or whatever it was, had their files deleted and have to start the whole game over. That sucks. I can tell you right now, unless this game was freaking Alan Wake, I wouldn't restart the game over. I would have just been like, well, that was my adventure. Then I'd go watch Rad Brad play the rest of it.
Come on, Eric. Inside of 3 days, you would have had like 2 hours into it. It's no big,
I'm saying
no big rough. Come on,
I'm
now.
saying in the instance if you're still a gamer, you know, you're getting your whole week in it. I know I'm an old man. I'd have had 4 hours tops in it, if that. So not me. I'm just saying. I get the frustration of some people. Some of it's warranted. Some of it's merited. But overall, no, I agree with you. It is not. This game's great. It's fun. Good gameplay. The speeder flies great. The combat's a little wonky for me, but maybe that's just me trying to figure it out and get used to it. I'm over here like trying to look around like, and hitting rocks and doing stupid stuff. So I just got to figure it out. That's all.
And what I'm excited for is, I don't think we mentioned it, like the skill system. And maybe you're not to this point yet, but it's not really a spoiler. You get like certain masters who teach you the skills. Like you meet up with somebody, and then in the world, you can do these certain things and it unlocks a skill. I've met like 2 so far. One is about hacking, a little hacking minigame. One is for your speeder. I've gotten a bunch of skills from there, but there's like 6 or 7 more. So I'm hoping that one of those is stealth, because I have gotten one stealth upgrade where like enemy detection radius is reduced by 50%.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
So that one's good.
Mhm.
And there has to be a combat one. There's got to be some legendary gunslinger that you go and find. Well, obviously you're targeting your little mark and execute. That's going to go up at least by double, I'm sure. I'm sure you're handling, your stuff's going down. I've gotten a bunch of combat upgrades just for the pistol. Well, upgrades you slot into it for the blaster. You know, you've got like a cooldown zone where once you hit it for a period of time, you don't build up heat. So you can just go ham on it. It's crazy. And to know that there's 6 more, however many more masters with skills to unlock, I have a feeling it's just going to get better. By the end game, you're probably going to feel like a badass. But that's all big stuff, like big action, combat, traversal, this, whatever. I love the small stuff too. Like I don't know, it's not really a spoiler. I don't know. But there's a vendor. It's like Nick's Trinket Vendor or something like that. There was a Nick's icon on the map. I went there and I met a robot chef. And it was like, hey, what do you want to order? And she ordered something. And it was kind of a little mini cutscene. But you get this cutscene of the chef bot preparing your order. And she hangs out with Nick's and does this like cute little interaction. It's like this little mini game. But it's this little moment of her and Nick's. And I'm sure other characters are going to have small moments like this too. But it unlocked, I think, either a skill or a customization for him. Must have been a skill. Like you watch this little like 3-minute cutscene of them being cool and having fun, eating this cool thing, talking about it, and then he unlocks a thing. That's perfect. It could have just been feed food to Nick's and he gets a skill. But instead, it's world building, it's atmosphere, it's you and your little buddy. And I'm assuming maybe you get those kind of moments like with your masters to unlock the big master skills or something. I don't know. But you can make a big world and doing the big things, and that's great and it's cool and it's wonderful. When you do the small things right too, though, that shows the love. That's the love and the care that they put in right there, you know?
Yeah, I haven't got to that point myself yet. I just got to the point where my ship's almost fixed. I just need a couple last little bits. So I was going to go do that, but then I got accosted by the huts. And now everybody's like, oh, I got a quest for you. I got a quest for you. I got a quest. So now I'm about to go on the sidetrack McJones. And God only knows when I'll get back to getting that part to finalize that. But we're going to get there eventually.
And that's a good one, too, because once your ship gets fixed, you can get this really cool quest. And that's the other thing. Okay, maybe this is the last thing I'll say. I love like the big story quests, because I feel like the one to get you off-world there from your starting zone, those quests start small, but then they get like big. And the music comes in, and it feels like you're playing a Star Wars. The mission where you go to that station, same thing. You go in and you're like, okay, well, it's going to be this thing. We're going to go get a thing. Okay. But then it builds and it builds. And by the end, you're doing a Star Wars. And I sound stupid saying that, but you feel like a Star Wars moment. And it does that really well. Really, really well.
Yeah, I will say in that area where you hung out with the one crew and did the mission, and then it all got spun out differently, I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why, but I wasn't. And it just happened. And I went, damn. And it was cool that the good guys, in quote fingers, you know, what's good? You know what I mean? What's really good? Because from my perspective, that wasn't good. But overall, from their perspective, looking at me, I could see where, there's nothing wrong. Everything's fine. So it's just unique. It was cool. It was just cool to see a moment with kind of the view of everything different from what you're used to. And you're like, huh, well, hot damn. That wasn't cool, man. I'm not a bad person just because I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not a bad person. And I won't spoil no more, but, just to lay it there. I thought that was neat. And if they can do that throughout the rest of the story, all the better. I'll be even more vested in, how this all plays out. And from what I hear, the last 2-3 hours are phenomenal. So that's just got me, way up here in the meter of, this is going to end really, really damn good. I'm going to really come away loving this game at the end of it.
Absolutely. So then rolling into my week, it's my turn to talk, and I got to talk about stuff. Real life stuff. I will say WWE had a premium live event in Berlin, Germany. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it every time. I love it when they do a big show in a foreign country because the crowds are flipping crazy. They're flipping hot. They're loving everything. So that made the show. Good show, fun show. Now, after that was done, I think, it was that weekend. I edited and posted Shift or Monthly Topic and What You Playing Third Shift. And people just on the regular show here don't know, and I won't go into it super long because it's a boring personal conversation, but the Patreon people know. I had to change the editing software that I'm using for this show and those shows because the projects that it makes to make the shows, the data files were just exploding in size. It was like 800 gigs. It was flipping ridiculous. It was absolutely nuts, unforgivable. Scrap that, went around Google. What are the best podcast editing softwares? Okay, do it in Audacity. I don't want to do it in Audacity. I want to do something different because this interface is not doing it for me. Use Hindenburg or use Reaper. Buy Reaper, it's this much. If buy Hindenburg, it's this much, but they're both pretty cheap. Okay. Looked on videos on both, research McGee. I'm going to go with Hindenburg. And so for the last 3 weeks, month-ish, I've been using that. It's been working great. Been having a lot of fun. I'm getting used to the shortcuts and the keys and everything. I'm like, all right, this is definitely what I'm going to go with. Especially because all those Google reviews said, you buy it once at this low price and it's no problem. No nothing. Cool. All right. Your subscription time is coming to an end. You have 3 more days to do this. All right. Let's upgrade to the pro version. Click. Hey, guy. Subscription model. Want to pay $30 a month? No, I don't want to do that. I want to buy the license. Okay, you want to buy a perpetual license? I sure do. $399, brother. What? And I Googled again, and I went, this can't be right. I Googled again. All the ones were like, yeah, you just get Hindenburg Journalist. It doesn't exist anymore. They went to subscription or pay out the monkeys. Okay, so I've just gotten used to this new system that I like a lot and had everything set up the way I wanted to have it set up. Okay. Let me do another Google search. Here's a million different options. Most of them are subscription-based. Okay. Go with Reaper. Okay, that was I had actually tried Reaper, done a demo of it. I didn't like the interface because I didn't understand it. Everything else was click and move, and it's easy. Reaper looks like a flipping... It looks crazy. So I sat down for like 2 hours. There's one big 2-hour tutorial on it. And the guy gives you sample files, everything, presets. He gives you this whole thing. You watch this 2-hour course. I kind of did it along with it. Okay. At least I think that's going to work. And if you buy it, it's like $60 forever. That's it. $60. That's what I was expecting. Not $400. Maybe it was even $4.99. I can't remember. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So now this podcast is the first Reaper podcast. Good luck to me. Hey.
Good luck, Mr. Matt.
And I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not an idiot. So even if I have to bumble through, but it was incomprehensible. You drop it in and everything you would normally do in Hindenburg worked completely opposite in Reaper. And I was so mad. I put it in a month of not active learning, but
Mm-hmm.
But here we go. That's my sad story. On the video game front, talked about Star Wars Outlaws. That came after I got the Platinum in Persona 3 Reload. Finally got it. Last trophy. Bing, bang, boom. Platinum is done. And it's a good thing that Star Wars Outlaws came out because after I got that Platinum, I got real funky. I got into another funk and I went, well, what do I play now? I don't even want to touch nothing. Plus, I've been having issues with the streaming Alan Wake 2 because I've talked to you about it off air. I think I've maybe mentioned it in the Discord. I don't know. But what I do is I stream it and then I grab the VOD from Twitch and I put it on my YouTube channel. And grabbing those VODs and totally randomly, the screen will just go complete pixels, like Discord has been doing for me on this side lately. But even worse than that. And nothing's happening. I've been trying to figure that out. I've been stressing. I've been mad. I don't want to stream. I do have to stream. I don't know. I tried a couple different things with Star Wars Outlaws when I streamed it. One stream did, at the very end, get all pixel monkey. The other stream seemed okay. So that's why I was double stressed out, double funky. Getting into Star Wars Outlaws felt good. The only other thing I have done this week on the video game front is just 2 days ago, I believe it was, I beat Stray Gods, the role-playing musical. God damn, that game was great. It was awesome. It was emotional. It was cool. It was fun. I loved all the characters. I got a really good ending. I don't know if you can get other endings in that game, but I loved the way that I got to my ending. And I'm tempted to go back because you have the 3 different song styles that you can do in the big songs. I probably won't go back yet, but I'll just keep that in the back pocket for if I need like a 4 to 6 hours something to kind of cheer me up, or just to go back in and check it out. But man, that game was awesome. And so I feel bad only jumping on it like a year after it launched because I knew I'd love it, and it turns out that I did, and it was great. And there's DLC, which I think is like a little 2-hour adventure thing. I might do that too. That game was great. I'm going to sing its praises till the cows come home. That game was awesome. And speaking of awesome games, Eric's going to tell you about a game that's coming out this week that's awesome. Woo! Check it out.
I am. It's here. This is a Matt moment for me. Astrobot just came out, everybody, as of September 6th, 2024. Team Asobi did this, as you should already know, because Astrobot is famous. He's awesome. In 2020, you got a cool demo with your PlayStation 5, getting to hang out with old Astro and do all sorts of fun stuff. And if you have a PlayStation VR unit from the way back when, you got to have yourself a fun 3D adventure, virtual adventure with him. Now, if you did none of that, hey, guess what? This is like Sony's cool little mascot. It's a 3D platformer game where you, Astro, are going around trying to save your buddies. And in this one, what happens is an alien attacks your ship, you crash land, you find out all your friends have been scattered across all over the place, and you got to save them. So you got to patch up your ship, which is a PlayStation 5, boop, 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 and you got to travel across all these planets trying to find all your fellow Astro buddies, whom take the form, many of them, of different characters throughout all the PlayStation history. And the levels that you traverse to, you're going to be using your ship, your little tiny ship, which is a DualSense controller. You're going to be using your platforming abilities. You're going to be using these little tiny not monsters, like little robot figurines that attach to you that give you different abilities. So you'll be able, and one of them is like a dog, and you'll jetpack through walls and be able to jetpack through certain baddies, etc. One of them allows you to climb. One of them allows you to hop more, do this. One of them has grappling hooks, allows you to get to different spaces. So you're going to utilize a variety of different skills through little helpers to find your Astro buddies, whom, as I said, will mostly be dressed up as awesome characters throughout all the franchise. And guess what? Aegis is in there from Persona 3, so that has me very excited. Can't wait to find her. It'll be very, very cool. But I can tell you right now, you probably already know about Astrobot, but this is, like I said, a Matt moment. I don't know why. I knew the game was coming, but it didn't seem like it was coming. Like I was just like, November or something. Probably. It's right around the corner. And then it was out. It's here. Everybody played it. They reviewed it. Everyone's like, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And I'm like, huh? I want to play this. I'm literally in 3 games at once right now. 3 games. I got to add a 4th one. I'm going to be playing 4 games at once now. How? What am I doing? I've never done this in my life. I used to be a 1-game nanny man. I did 1 game at a time. Occasionally would have like a little side, party game or, just like fun whatever game. Now I'm like knee deep in 3 games, coming to be 4 games. I'm a broken man, but Astrobot's out, man. It's out right now, and you can't say no to this. Beautiful music, fun vibes, beautiful game itself. Everything's very colorful. All the moves that Astro has are just really cool, really vibrant. It brings you back to that old school, like Mario 3D feel. That's this, but on the PlayStation, and with all the PlayStation swag and personas, etc. It's a no-brainer game. You got to pick this up if you have a PlayStation 5.
This absolutely is a Matt moment because I knew this was coming. I knew it was. It's here. The game I'm going to talk about is here. The Persona 3 DLC is like 5 days away as we're recording this. Star Wars Outlaws is here. Lucky Squire is the week after Persona 3 DLC. Plus, I started playing Alan Wake 2 again. Plus, I started playing Yakuza 5 Remastered again.
2 weeks after that, Silent Hill 2 remake.
Plus, I have this thing that I'm going to have to hook up to figure out how that interfaces with my PC and my PlayStation to get the stream, or at least the stream VOD is looking right. It's bananas. I've been stressed. That's probably why you saw Crazy Matt today. There's another thing that I just had to do that got me stressed. It's nuts. But I am excited because Astrobot looks awesome. I do want to play it. I've had it pre-ordered forever. I got the limited edition controller that just got shipped today. That's on its way to my house too.
You freaking lucky bastard. I tried and it was sold out.
Oh, I had to do add to cart 4 different times. And then I think I had to get on a different browser. I was doing it here at home and I either did it on the iPad instead of the phone or the computer instead of the iPad or whatever. So yeah, I had to do a big hullabaloo magoo. But not only all that, but Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. is out as of tomorrow, the 6th, as we're recording this. Developed and published by Capcom. I think it's just PC and the Switch, or is it for your PS5 too? I got so excited I forgot to look up which platforms, but it's out. It's here. Ace Attorney Investigations. This is another Ace Attorney 2-pack. One game that did come out, like in 2010 on the DS, the first Ace Attorney Investigations game. The second one coming to the West for the very first time. I'm not going to go into the story because I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody else or myself. I will just say you're taking control of Miles Edgeworth. You're going around doing a lot of crime scene investigation and like interviewing witnesses. So it's not a courtroom game, but it has mostly the same mechanics as the Ace Attorney games. The only thing different is this takes place from a third-person perspective. So you're literally running from scene to scene in the crime, running over here, talking to that guy, run over there, talking to that guy. But in essence, you're collecting evidence. You're talking to suspects or people who are involved. You're getting them caught in contradictions. You're overturning their rebuttals with evidence. And it's just a lot of fun. It's really cool. It's a whole new slate of characters. This kind of takes place in between the Phoenix Wright games and the Apollo Justice games. There's a big time skip in there. This is where that happens. Like I said, I have played the first one because it came out in 2010. I remember almost nothing about it other than Miles, his sidekick, and there's one where a crime happens on a plane. That's all I remember. But I remember it being a lot of fun, being really enjoyable. From the reviews I've seen, they say that the first game in here isn't quite really up to snuff, but it does have a nice cohesive narrative. Like you're chasing after a criminal organization that's behind everything all throughout the game. So it kind of goes from bing, 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 bing. But I've heard the second game, which again, it's the first time it's out in the West, is top tier, awesome Ace Attorney goodness. And if you know what Ace Attorney goodness is, you know what that means. And you know how cool that's going to be. So if you're into Ace Attorney, you need to get this. Also, if you're into Ace Attorney, you will love that the visuals, like before, have been remastered. And the music's been remastered too. It's updated from plink, plink, DS, beeps, and boops to orchestral versions. But you can also go back or forth. If you want to see the original pixels, whoop, switch it in the options. If you want to hear that original beeps and boops, whoop, switch it in the options. There's concept art. There's all kinds of good stuff. It looks awesome. And as some reviews have said, I listened to 2 reviews because I don't want to get too spoilery, but the last one I listened to said, they released the Phoenix Wright collection, the Apollo Justice collection, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Ace Attorney Investigations collection now. These are all the mainline Ace Attorney games. Maybe if we support all of those, they'll do something new. They'll get another thing cooking in the oven. Maybe they have it already. Who knows? So if you love Ace Attorney, definitely support this. I have already. I pre-ordered it long, long ago. It's on its way to my house. I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be loving it. I mean, I will say there's no bad spot to jump in. Buy any one of these collections, especially this one. It's kind of a side story. Like I said, in between the 2 main stories, you won't get the cameos and the references, but any Ace Attorney game, as long as you play with the first in that series, like this one, you get a 2-pack. Start with that first game. It's going to be a great place to drop in. So Ace Attorney Investigations collection. Get it, play it, love it. I'm going to do exactly that. And then we're going to go to the free games of the week. There's too many. There's too many. I sent you a link in Discord that says Amazon Prime members get 28 free games in September. And I got mad. I don't have time for that on this show. We can't talk about all this stuff. We can't.
Oh, that's why we just got a easy queasy on that one. We can't get in depth. And I'll let you do that because I'm going to tell you about Epic. Epic's got some Football Manager 2024, Matt. And you know what? To me, this means absolutely nothing. But from what I hear, this game's actually extremely freaking big. Everybody loves this game. Everybody gets this game. This is a go-to for folks in the sports world. So it's free. Go on Epic and it's yours. And then the other one is Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. Guess what? You're a sniper and you're going on missions and you're sniping folks. You're stealthing around. You're doing all the cool fantasy stealth stuff you'd love to do. You're getting orders over your little comms. Sniper 7-8, take out ordnance. Blah, blah, blah. You're doing all that. So if you want to have your sniper fantasy, go check this one out. If you want to have some football fantasy, go check out Football Manager 2024. All right, man? Do it.
I might do it, but I'm going to tell you, over on Game Pass, there's another glut of games that are coming. It's a 3-pack this time. First up, it's Star Trucker, which I'm sad is not the board game where you roll dice and like build your ship and then you run into asteroids. This is like actually like Star Trucking. So if you want to do some truck simulator type of trucking, but in the stars, go check that out. I mean, it still looks cool. Then you got Age of Mythology Retold. Hey, gosh, is that a remake of one of the Age of Mythology games? Do you like Age of Mythology? Maybe you should play this too. And then you got Expeditions, a Mud Runner game. When you're playing Power Wash Simulator, do you think, how did things get so muddy? Now you get a chance to go mudding around, doing some expeditions, like driving a truck and getting it all muddy. Do you love that? Are you from the South? You go mudding on the weekend, boy? Go get it.
I saw Expeditions, and I was thinking Expedition 33. I thought maybe it was like a prelude to that, and I got excited.
Maybe you drive your way to the painted world.
You fall through like a hole in the mud or something, some kind of vortex, and you end up there. That's how it all happened. Well, that's probably not true, but what is true is over on the PlayStation, you can get your free games for September too, everybody. And guess what? I was just talking about this one, Little Nightmare 2. I wanted to play this series, never have. I've watched both of them played through to the full extent, but I still want to play this one myself, and I'm super hyped for what they're making next, and that's what we talked about on the show a couple weeks ago. But you can get Little Nightmare 2 right now for free, so go grab it up. And guess what else? You get the Quidditch Champions game. Me and Matt, we're back in it, baby. We're going to be playing some Quidditch, flying around. Oh, it's me, Harry Potter, flying around me. Oh,
squitch the snitch or glitch the britch or whatever.
Yeah, you go after the blocker, and I'll go after the concher and the snitch.
I'm going to play a Snoobaloops Babblefloops. That's my character.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to have a blast. That's there for free. Pick it up. You're going to love it. And last but not least, you got MLB The Show 2024. Do you like baseball? Do you love sitting there for an extended amount of time, burning your freaking brains out, wondering if anybody's ever going to score? Then you're going to love MLB The Show, everybody, because it's got all that and more for you.
I will say I'm not a baseball guy either. But when I had a baseball game I played on the Xbox. And when you play it on easy or easier difficulty, it's nice to just be like smashing home runs and striking out people. It's fun. If you play it on super strategy, Mr. Realistic Jones, I don't know how you could. I couldn't possibly do it, but they can be fun. And speaking of fun, man, if you are on Amazon, if you're on the Amazon Games app, if you're on Games with Prime, check it out. You got Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. It's Tomb Raider. You got Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. We love Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. You got Greedfall Gold Edition. That's actually a really fun RPG and like some swashbuckling, sailing around almost like a pirate type of stuff. Really deep, really cool, almost immersive sim-like. I will say that. You got Eternites, Eric's favorite game that he totally beat.
I know. I got halfway through it, and then I fell off, and not because it was bad, just because other games came out. So, it's a good game, and it's free. Go pick it up. I'm telling you right now, this game, solid. Really cool little story going on. Combat's fun. The environment's really weird and just out of this world. I enjoy it. But if I ever get back to it, who knows?
And same thing with me with Greedfall. Like, it's honestly really cool. You can sneak, you can talk, you can action out. It's all kinds of stuff, and it was so much that I had to stop playing it because I was playing something else right now. But then also, you got Lego Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures. It's Lego. It's Indiana Jones. Go check it out. You got a game called Minabo, A Walk Through Life, which I watched a review of because I had no idea what it was about. This is a game, you grow up as like a little turnip, and you have like your turnip parents, and you walk from left to right, and as you go, the seasons change and the years go by, and you interact with your parents or like other turnip people that you meet along the way. You have like, it's going to sound weird when I say this, affection meters, like physical affection and like emotional affection and all this. And then you have a lifespan at the bottom. So you go on this like journey through your turnip life as a turnip person, making friends, making enemies, making loved ones, seeing your loved ones get old and pass away. You live a life and you see how your life turned out based on how your interactions were with all these people. So a weird game. It looks very cartoony. It looks not serious, but the review I watched of it, it really got to this person because you interact with your parents and you have a life that you live with them and you see them go away because that's part of life. So if that kind of stuff speaks to you, definitely check that out. Like it looks weird. It sounded weird, but for that person, it was very impactful. So check it out. And then you got Whispered Secrets, Ever Burning Candle. That looks like a Hopa. It's got to be a Hopa. It's got to be one Hopa. I'm hoping it's a Hopa.
Probably. It's probably a Hopa. I'm very confident it's a Hopa. You know what I am not confident about? Oh, man, I screwed it up. I was going there and I messed it all up. I did the opposite. But you know what I'm not confident about, man? I'm not confident that Concord's ever seen the light of day again. All right?
I'm confident.
You're confident? Mm-hmm. I'm not confident. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, everybody, this is something that's not unprecedented because GameSpot did an article on why this isn't unprecedented, which is why I kind of want to talk about it because it's kind of funny. Is that Concord came out less than 2 weeks ago. Solid game. Reviews are in the 7s, 7.5s. Everybody says it's fine. It's a solid piece of game. It just didn't hit. It didn't hit, not at all. There's many variables for this. Some people claim it's the art style, that it just wasn't grabbing people. It wasn't getting people interested. Some people say it was the $40 price tag. Well, you can play so many other games these days for free that are the same type of game that Concord is. But of course, there was arguments back and forth of why that's crazy, because with the $40 model, they were giving you tons of levels at hand, tons of players at hand, where most of the free-to-plays, they make you buy in and buy in and buy in and buy season pass, etc.
I remember when Overwatch was good, it was still $60 and you had to buy into it. And then when it went free to play, everybody flipping hated it and fell off and said it's garbage.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of reasons depending on who you're listening to. I'm not the expert on this one because I didn't touch it, wasn't going to touch it. So I can't really give you my personal take on this. All I can tell you is the facts that these poor sons of guns did not get a game that got people's attention. And after less than 2 weeks, Sony is shutting this bad boy down. And that is the part that's crazy to me, because this is a Sony game. Firewalk Studios, they bought them up years ago, and I'm sure they were already working on Concord at the time. But by picking them up, they've turned this into a Sony first, party game. And to see this just utterly fail, because I'm hearing rumors that like in 10,000 range, like 10, 30,000 sold range. And that's abysmal. That's insane. And of course, people were talking about the Twitch, he had like 3-5 people playing, 150 at like the max. And it was bad. There's no need to keep smashing on it. But what's crazy is that a Sony first party game has completely and utterly failed. And that to me is wild. I got the news of this and I went, nah, that's crazy. It's insane. Nope. There it was. They shut the hell down.
There's a lot of things we can talk about with it, but I was interested in this because when we talked about it a few shows ago, a few reveals ago, they had that story trailer where it was like the group is on the mission and they get jumped by the other crew. And I went, that's really cool. And they talked about every week dropping a story trailer. So you got to know these people and these characters. And I went, that looks neat. And then it was a total Matt moment of, hey, it's out now, guys. Oh, wait, what? I had no idea. I saw no pre-release anything. It was just, I guess that one trailer was the pre-release hype for it. Because 2 months later, it's out, and now it's gone.
No, that's what's crazy, Matt. Here's the deal, and this adds to it. The game that you were actually interested in, they were doing vignettes every week. New release vignettes for it. So there's like 3 or 5 of them or something like that out that they did in between that to keep getting you hyped along with the closed betas they were doing. So if you go look it up, you can watch like, I think 5-ish vignettes of all the characters doing more cool stuff and having a blast and, character bonding moments, all that, whatever the hell it is. I didn't go watch them myself.
Well, that is the other thing, because, two more things I want to say on that. I knew they had closed betas, but they were closed betas. You do an open beta, I'll know when it is because I will jump in. I think maybe they did one, but it was like for a day and a half. It was real short, and I was off doing something that day. But you mentioned those character vignettes. Once this all happened and everybody was tap dancing on the grave like everybody does for games that fail now for some reason, I don't understand that. We've talked about it a million times. Just let it be. And it's sad because developers put a bunch of time and effort and their literal lives into it. I watched those trailers and went, this is good. Like, this feels good. This feels, this is what I wanted this game to be. And so it was very sad to see it after the fact to, again, just kind of, we know it, but like, you can tell they were pouring stuff into this. They wanted it to be good. They were doing the things that they said they were going to do, and it was quality. It was good. Like, I watched through some gameplay and some stuff with the characters and went, man, I wish I had jumped on it. I mean, I don't because it's gone now, but I don't know. It looks like the kind of game I would have supported, but it just came out of nowhere in a weird spot with all these other big releases around it that I am going to play. So I was going to put it off for a month or so and then get it. And now I can't do that. It's just weird. It's very strange.
And I'll add to that and I'll say, yeah, regular Joe Schmoes on Reddit, they're dancing on graves. That's what they always do. But this one's a weird one because, you know me, I listen to a million different shows and I got my ear in there hearing what everybody's saying. People weren't really hating on this one. The peeps out there doing the shows and they were saying it's a solid game, but I don't think it's going to work. It's a solid game, but I don't know. Something's not going to, it's just not jiving. And they were 100. This time it was just accurate. The game is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But the magic wasn't there. The timing wasn't there. Something happened, obviously. And it just went catastrophically bad. And that's wild to me.
And it is good to hear that, like, the actual people, because I know you listen to like IGN and GameSpot and all like the premier people who talk about stuff. We're talking about it being good because I only see the goofs on Reddit, and I see, when I search for those vignettes on YouTube, I see the guys who do the hands on the face,
yeah,
with
hands
the arrow
over the
going,
faces.
This game blows, blah, blah, blah. It's the worst game ever made, blah, 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 blah. So that's all I've seen. So to hear from actual people, this wasn't a tap dance on the grave moment for them, at least. It makes me feel a little bit better.
It's just weird because everybody saw this one coming.
Yeah.
And it's just strange to me. How did, I didn't have my feet in the water, so I don't know if it was going to be good or not. Didn't care. But to hear people actually actively talk about it over these last few months, of going, man, it seems okay, but I think it's dead on arrival, man. I don't know.
How do you know
to see
that?
it literally do that, I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you seeing that put that in your head that got you going, oof, I don't know. It's just not going to make it.
Maybe they somehow got like the pre-order numbers or the closed beta numbers, because I don't know anything about it. I just knew from that first week they went 700 people max on Steam, and I don't listen to Steam numbers because I'm not a Steam player. But I was like, if you knew that beforehand, how could you know that? How did that happen? What's going on here? But to bring it back to my initial thing, they said they're taking it off to see further avenues of what we're going to do and blah, 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 blah. They gave out a big old press statement. I think this is going to be the same thing that it always is. Battleborn said, hey, we're not going free to play. They went free to play. This game said they're not going free to play. They're going to go to free to play. This is probably a strategy like 5 years down the road. We're going to make it free to play. I have a feeling in like a year, you're going to get Concord free to play. Hey guys, here it is. Maybe it'll only last 2 weeks then. But I feel like you can't put that money into something and then not do anything.
Well, and yeah, because they refunded every single customer.
Yeah.
So like literally there's no money in this Concord anymore.
So all it was just a money pit. So you have to, at least the assets are there. You have to take that and try and do something with it, which is why it's so baffling that they just gave all the money back. Because here it is. It's there and it works. Maybe you don't have a way to pump it up now, but you have to drape it behind the curtain and then bring it back later to try and get something. Because it's there. It exists. It's data. It's there.
And that leads to what the GameSpot article is talking about, which is why I brought it up in the first place, was they said, is this actually like something that's just unprecedented? Nope. Very first story, Matt, was Battleborn's story. And here's the thing. Learn from what Battleborn did. Because Battleborn went, we're going directly free to play. Okay, let's try that. Didn't work. The game still died. It never picked back up. If they do that with this, that game is dead. Concord's dead. Their only chance, in my opinion, is to go gone. Go ghost. And like you said, 9 months or a year, when everybody's forgotten, come back out with some kind of single player. I don't know, man. I don't even think... I don't... Ugh. There's no way they can do a single player mode with this. Like, the genetics of this is a multiplayer. But I just don't know if a multiplayer can work. I guess it's their best shot, though, is do, like you said, go ghost, be gone for 9 months, 10 months, 12 months, I don't care. And then you come back out with something to grab everybody, something to really hit hard, and make sure you do it in a month that's slow.
Yeah.
Like Outriders had that slow month. They were a big success. It was a middling B game, but boom, got great numbers. Well, apparently not, because they said they never saw any royalties, but whatever. Either way, you got hit in a slow month. You got to come out free to play, just like you said. Go the same route all the other games are that are this type, this genre. Since apparently, you got to admit, it's probably got something to do with it. You can play other games like this that are free to play. Who wants to pay the $40 to get in? So join that. Come out with some kind of gimmick, something that's going to really grab the eye and at least get people to check it back out again. But the problem is the people who were hardcore, who wanted to play this, are they going to come back after getting burned this time around? I mean, they got their $40 back. So I guess there's that.
You know they will, because Gigantic came back and people were excited for that. And that was niche game Mick Jones also. So I have a feeling the diehards who wanted to play it will be happy to play it, especially if you can guarantee, for me, it'll be enough for me to jump in. If you give me all those vignettes that you had planned to drip feed.
Yeah, a whole year's worth, they said.
Drop it in there. Make it, you win 5 matches, you get a vignette. Not win 5 matches. Play 5 matches, get a vignette. Win 2 matches, get another one. Bing, 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 bing. Give me a nice big checklist to go through. That'll be enough for me. I might not ever actually spend like money on it, except for I did order one copy of it because I'm a weird collector, and not like I think it's gonna appreciate in value and get it graded or anything, but I like owning weird pieces of history.
Yeah, a game that died, and here I got one of the copies of it.
Got a copy of Battleborn after that was gone. Just to, it's on the shelf. It's there. I have a physical memory of this. Obviously, I don't have a connection to this, but I did it. I don't care. What do you want from me?
Okay, whatever. But Secret Levels also got a whole show based off of Concord, so that'll be real weird.
Oh, hell yeah.
Seeing that, come this fall or winter time, and see the Secret Levels Concord episode of a game that's dead.
Wow. It's just so weird.
Strange indeed. I'd love to hear what y'all out there listening have to think about this one for sure, because it's, it isn't unprecedented, as GameSpot pointed out, but it's near and dear to our hearts because Battleborn is one of the games that did this too. They took them longer, though, way longer than less than 2 weeks. So I
was gonna say, I feel like Lawbreakers is a better example for that.
Yes,
because wasn't that like a few months and then it was gone?
Mm-hmm.
But everyone just reverts to Battleborn, even though that was around for years and years and years.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but they did. Limited Run Games did do a Lawbreakers Collector's Edition a year after the fact. You can buy it and you can't play it. It's literally worthless.
Just have it to have it. Yep.
But speaking of a limited edition package, you can open up the VOD version of the Gearbox panel at PAX West. Dude, all of our conjectures came true. We were right on 100% of everything that we said. Wonderland's Tactics, Battleborn 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they were all announced. They had a big roadmap of what they're going to be doing for the next 20 years. It was great. It was everything.
Yeah, it was all the things we said on Conjecture Island. That's why it's called Conjecture Island, because nothing comes true there. It's Conjecture Island. On Reality Rock, Realism Rock, well, that's another story. I don't even think I really commented on Realism Rock this time, because we knew what was going to happen. We already really actually probably knew what was going to happen, and that's what happened. The only exception was Randy was sick. He couldn't make it, so we didn't get the magic trick that we typically get. But instead, we got a very, and I'm just going to be truthful, a very awkward gear loot segment that was just extremely long.
And I have to imagine they had to fill time because Randy wasn't there. Because they did bring out the guy from Risk of Rain 2. They talked about that, so I was right about that.
That was cool.
Randy had mentioned that. But yeah, it just went on so long, and Erica Stead, she was playing that character who's like rude to the guests. But since she had to do it for so long, I turned on her. I was like, I'm tired of this. I get it. Yeah, you guys get nothing. Ha ha. It would have been funny twice. It wasn't funny 7 times. But I don't know. I probably got us in trouble with Gearbox when I talked about one PAX West showcase that was very bad.
Rant and Raven.
So I'm not going to say too much on this, but that went way too long. They should have had that at the end and brought out the guys with the panel to start with.
The panel should have been prior to that period. Like 100%. They should have led with the panel, then did the loot, and then ended with the Risk of Rain. So that way you got a little bit of information, the goofy stuff, a little bit of information, and then something that should have just been, and look forward to more. And they should have just done some cool collage of all the things Gearbox has done in the last 5-6 years, just to get you hyped for being part of the Gearbox community, and wrapped it up.
And I'm sure they had the room booked out for an hour. But if you go for 45 minutes, that's more time people can spend on the floor having fun. It felt like they stretched out the loot. If they didn't, fine, whatever. But they had to have 15 minutes of Randy. So if you have just, like we said, the panel, the game show, Risk of Rain, enjoy the show, guys. Check us out next time. Pew, 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 pew. You guys get to go early.
Get out of here, go have fun.
Yeah, why is it bad? It's not bad.
Or just have the panelists, who are some awesome folks. I mean, the big dogs, as they stated a couple times, the directors of Borderlands 4 and some of your favorite previous titles, have them just walk amongst the crowd and let them just meet and greet for the last 15 minutes or something. I don't know.
They're going to meet up later anyway, so have it start now and then say, hey, okay, it's been 15 minutes. We got to go. You got to go. But we'll see you later at the thing.
Yeah. Something like that would have been, I think, probably way better than what it ended up being. But of course, with that said, hey, we're just doofy dudes working in a dungeon. What do we know, right? They did have the Borderlands 4 panel. But once again here, a lot of speak with not too much really said about anything going on with Borderlands 4, except for the fact that one thing we talked about and we didn't really want is going to happen. You're getting all new heroes again for this one. And I was part of me's happy. I love getting new characters and seeing what their new skill sets are. Don't get me wrong. But as I've said already on the show, we got so many characters. Can we just enjoy them? There are so many characters with so many skills that I still haven't even played ever, let alone some I never mastered or finished. Come on, man. Just let's use what we got this time around. I think it's time.
I was thinking about this specifically with the pre-sequel people, but
Yes.
Nisha's dead, Wilhelm's dead, so many other people are dead. Roland's dead. You can't bring him back. But I will say, I mean, I was a little disappointed too, but also a little bit excited because new action skills, new fun stuff, new skill trees to look at. I do love that stuff. The one thing that did make me excited, specifically talking about the Vault Hunters.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to be the driving force. They want these 4 Vault Hunters to be the focus of the game. And I went, okay, good. I said it before. I say it again now that they've confirmed it. I don't want to be Claude from GTA 3. Walk in. Hey, Vault Hunter, I need you to go do that thing. Great job, Vault Hunter. Also, I came in to actually do the thing. Ka-ching, boom. I want to be the driving force. And they said they want to make that way, and they want to bring the seriousness back, too.
That's what got me.
And have humor in there, but be serious, and you're the driving point.
Yep.
Hopefully they can mesh that all together.
They brought up 1 and how 1 was more serious, gritty, dark, da-da-da. And then they brought up 2 about revenge. They went through the whole, rigmarole.
Mm-hmm.
And they went, we want this one to have, more seriousness to it. We want to be more serious. And I went, yes, because that's what I want. I want it to be more like Borderlands 1 this time around. A little more actual, real stakes happening, a gritty, dark vibe happening. And just like you said, the fact that now your Vault Hunter is going to be a human or whatever they are, alien, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They're going to be real. Instead of going, Vault Hunter, they're going to say, hey, Tim, I need you to get over here and help me. And you're going to respond and have actions and things you say and do to that instead of just an empty vessel, who is me, just going along, watching everybody else do their part. And I'm kind of like this weird invisible force that's just pushing the story forward. That's going to be really cool. So I was happy to see that. And then they were showcasing some artwork, which I was jiving with. I thought it looked real good.
Yep.
And some folks are kind of trying to figure out, you saw those like beams of light, it looked like loot, like loot drops, but they're completely changed. And they did mention that they're going for a different vibe because this is a whole different world. So is that going to be what like the new loot drops look like? That weird little, like just rectangular little light coming up and then it had like some of them were like pronged out, like little fork prongs. So like that indicate the different, red, green, green, blue, legendary, etc. This time around, who knows? There's just conjecture about it, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I immediately noticed that too. And I was like, is that like them just covering up what the loot is going to look like? Because I thought maybe they were just distorting it a little bit. But then, of course, people were bringing up maybe that's just what it's going to look like this time. I'm like, well, yeah, it's true. He did say they were going to make it very different from what you're used to because it's a whole different place that you're on.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I was vibing with the art. I didn't go super deep into it. Every new piece they were showing, like the little hub city kind of looking place, everything looked great. It looked cool. Everything they said sounded good to me so far.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, the one weird moment, Matt, that had me excited for a minute, but I feel like it didn't go where it was supposed to go. Randy Varnell, like, paused the whole thing for a minute. And he was like, hey, everybody, hang on. I know this will probably make you mad, but this is a chance. You're talking to the directors of the game right now, guys. And, this might be just a little bit of feedback you can give them on a direction we can go. And so I'm like, holy cow, is he about to kind of give us like a little Easter egg or a little moment, like something that's critical to this game and kind of get a room vibe on it? But then he started mentioning like, who is your favorite character from 3, playable character?
Yeah.
Then he listed them all, which I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's going somewhere with this. Like, what's he alluding to with this? But then it just stopped and it completely shifted and changed subject and it went absolutely nowhere. And no one responded to it. No one gave a comment about it. No one reacted to it. Well, that's not true. Anthony did.
Mean Muggin' Anthony, yeah.
Mean Muggin' Anthony did. He did say, he said, oh, it looks pretty even. And then Graham chimed in and said, yeah, it looks pretty even. We love that characters like our characters all equally. And then they moved on. So, yeah, they did comment. Sorry, it came back to me. But it was a very just kind of weird blanket statement. Like they were just trying to cover up whatever it was Randy was going to do. Like it's such a weird moment. I was like, Randy's about to like kind of get in there and do something weird here. And then it just went away. And I was like, well, that was different. What the hell happened?
Randy's that guy you do have to rein in, though. I mean, he was on our podcast and he did a couple little starts and stops here and there too. But the ways they had different takes on the different archetypes, talk about Roland to Axton to Mose, and like the different types of sirens that they had. I mean, I'm hoping it's not the same archetypes, but it worked well last time because Flack didn't feel like, what's his name? Bird Shoot Man.
Bird Shoot Man.
Oh, he didn't feel like the sniper dude.
Scorch Bird Man, the bird.
He didn't feel like Mordecai.
And he hangs out with Tiny Tina. Mordecai.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't Mordecai.
But it made me think about that and how they have done a good job of that and hopefully continue to do that. Because Mose didn't feel like any of the other soldiers.
No.
Because it was so radically different, while she was still that type. So it got my brain kind of spinning on other different ways they could change it up. Obviously, they're thinking that way too. So it'll be cool.
Yeah. Overall, the panel didn't give us much. It did give us some little pieces here and there. Very clearly, which I think we already mentioned last time, talked about how that is a veil that's been hiding this planet this entire time when you shatter through it. And they kind of went into why they decided to go with like that glass effect versus a ripple wave effect. And so if you missed out, they kind of covered that a bit. And it's pretty clear too that, it's got to do with the Varelsi, and I'm singing the wrong name, ain't I?
You're thinking of Battleborn, dude.
Yeah, jeez, oh, Pete's, man.
You're thinking of the Iridians.
The Iridians. Yeah, I got Battleborn on the brain again. And dude, wouldn't that be sick?
They veiled the planet like they veiled all the stars.
Yeah. This is where it all merges together. We're gonna be right on this one. No, it's Iridians for sure. And then of course they had the little story about how they were trying to figure out the mass thing and had Randy's hand just come in and do it and show how it would like flip up. And then somebody did a little conjecture. It was Killer 6 to be exact. I don't know if he got it from somewhere else. I was just listening to like a little clip of his. And that got me thinking. I was like, holy mackerels, this could be actually really cool. And he was like, what if all those asteroids or whatever we thought we were seeing were actually pods from everybody on Elpis? So we will get Pickles and everybody in this game because they're all dropping in those pods. Hence why when the one blew up, it was, it was Psycho's mask because he had been incinerated and only his mask was left behind. I didn't put that together. I mean, probably I should have, but no, I was just like, oh, a bunch of stars are coming, asteroids are coming down to the ground, and why has one got a Borderlands mask? That's weird, whatever.
That's what I assumed it was. I assumed it was psychos and all the crazies, all the scavs and everything jumping off, popping off, just because it's not like Elpis blew apart. You didn't see it break apart when it hit the
No,
veil.
it wasn't breaking
So
apart
that's
at all.
all it could be is people, psychos. I felt like it was Borderlands kind of infecting this planet. Like, here comes the things from
Here
the
comes
Borderlands.
all the things that make you understand what Borderlands is.
Yeah.
Get ready, Iridians. You're about to be screwed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes 100% sense. I'm a complete idiot and just...
I didn't mean it that way. I'm just saying.
I didn't tie it. No, I was up. After I thought about it, I was like, how am I this stupid? That should have been the first thing I thought. But no, I was just sitting there like, I don't know, it's a bunch of asteroids coming down for some reason. That's weird. Nope, no, it's Pickles and the Psychos and everybody flying down.
Say, as long as we get some Davis Pickle. Well, no, they can do everything else wrong. Just give me some more Davis Pickle to piss everybody off. Davis Pickle and Ava, and have a whole like big wedding DLC. The two most hated characters in the whole world.
We need Janie Springs in there too.
She's on Pandora though, because if you remember,
she is. That's right.
Yeah, because in Tales, that's after everything. She's out there, so
she's over there.
Well, I mean, Lilith's gonna come fly back everybody anyway, so
that's
fine.
True. She's gonna bring them somehow because they got to tie it in because you're gonna get the 7th siren. Because remember they said you can never find the 7th siren. Oh, you're on a planet that's been mysteriously veiled for 5 bajillion years. This is where the 7th siren is.
It's gonna be bad. There's gonna be all kinds of shenanigans. Yeah.
So there you go. That was it. That's what you got, everybody. That was the Gearbox panel 2024.
And just to wrap it up, I will say that panel of people at the end, that's the Gearbox I like to see. The goofy Gearbox is fine, but this is the Gearbox I like. People who are talented at making stuff, talking about the thing in the franchise they love and the way they make it. Give me more of that all the time, every time. Make that be 99% of it. And then Randy can come out and do a magic trick. But I love that. I always have. I've talked about it all the time whenever they do this, and it's great. I loved it. It was great.
Well, no, last but not least, I'll tell Sam, listen to the people. Your jokes and stuff, you got to make sure they're good. Make sure they hit. All right? Calm the hell down. Don't go crazy. Do jokes that make sense and they're good where they need to be good. I think you even said it. I think so. I'm feeling positive this time around that you said you really want to make sure it's placed well. And yeah, not all of them will hit, but I want them to be important and be a moment this time around. And I agree with that 100%. Please do that. So that way we don't get too many weird jokes that I'm just shaking my head at and don't understand what the hell you're trying to convey. That's funny to me.
Last little nitpicky thing for Sam. The singular of dice is die. You roll a die. You don't roll a dice. Don't stop saying I'm rolling my dice and roll one. You don't. This is a die. That's a die. That's not a dice. You don't know. No, that's wrong. It was wrong the whole time.
Jeez, Matt, you had to nitpick about that one. Come on.
Now, we're banned.
Now
from
you're
Gearbox
about to. Here's
forever.
the rant, Matt. Rant. Destroy the PAX. Here you go.
I didn't mean it in a negative way. I'm just saying. Well, there was that European indie game where it was like the lucky dice and you rolled one. I'm like, that's not right. No, it's not right. Anyway.
Yeah.
So moving on to another fantastic part of the show. It's the almost last part of the show. It's Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner. If you remember, the previous week's question was, what is the name of the undead protagonist of the 1998 game Medieval? That is Sir Daniel Fortesque. This week's question, we're on to new cards. I didn't cherry pick nothing. Good luck to us all. Godspeed. Question, which actor and comedian voices Jasper in Fable 3?
Oh my God.
I'll just say, remember, Fable is a very British thing. That's the only hit anybody's going to get. That's it.
Nope, I don't got this one.
We probably didn't get to him because we were watching a chicken man make pies to buy our house.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty much all I ever saw of that game.
So if you guys know the answer out there, or if you got any questions for us, comments, concerns, if you just want to say hi, if you're Gearbox and you want to say lay off us with the PAX West stuff, or we're sending hitmen to your house, I don't know, send any of that stuff to us via the email thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine at ThirdShiftME, find us on Facebook on Third Shift, hit the Discord, the Patreon, the stream. Do hit up my house. I don't care. Come knocking on the door. I'll let you in. Doesn't matter. We'll eat pies and have a great time. You know what? Bring me a chicken suit. I'll make you a pie. How about that?
Bam. You can go make pies, or you can go over to Patreon too. You can give us a few bucks, $1, $2, $3, all them bucks. And with those bucks, we can make those pies and or put on chicken suits to make pies with you and have a great time. That's up to you. If, though, you don't got the monies and you don't want to throw it our way because you got to do some other stuff, don't worry. You can support us in all the other ways that are free or almost free. You can go over to the iTunes 5-star ratings. You can go to Twitch, give us a Prime subs. You can go to the mailbags and throw in some questions and etc. You can go to the Discord and throw in all sorts of conversations on whatever the hell you want to talk about. Any and all those things helps us out, keeps us happy and motivated, and we love that.
Absolutely, we do. And we love you listening to the very next episode, which will be dropping on and around September 12th on iTunes and Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any of those good services, because it does help us out. And we really do appreciate it.
Indeed, we appreciate it. Just like we appreciate those 5-star ratings on the iTunes thing that you got in the Spotify application. Oh, something don't smell good in my house. It's in the pot. Something don't smell good in my basement in the pot. And I'm sending it to your house, too.
And with that, there's nothing else to say but...
Don't forget to say...
Shut up and sit down.